my Conservative team and I have forced Justin Trudeau into a temporary but humiliating climb down today.
There you have it. The federal Liberals withdrawing amendments to Bill C-21. These were the amendments that would have vastly expanded the guns on the banned gun list. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. With me, fellow columnists Jamil Jivani and Jamil. This is the second big walk back for the Liberals. They've walked back on gun issues. They've walked back on medical assistance in dying. I'm quite shocked at both of these, but I'd put it to you, in both cases, they got well out ahead of where the public was, well out ahead of where the opposition parties were. Maybe they forgot this is a minority parliament and they need somebody's support to pass their agenda.
You're exactly right, Brian. I mean, I think what we've seen in the backtracking on the gun legislation, as well as on the expansion of euthanasia in Canada to more people, particularly people with suffering from mental illness, it really seems to me like the party is just being driven by its base. They come up with these ideas that a very small portion of the population actually supports. They put them out there thinking that it's a sign of big progress and they're going to pat themselves on the back. And then they realize that the 95% of Canada who they never bothered to talk to because they're not, active members of the Liberal Party aren't behind these ideas. And as you said, including some of the opposition parties that they need in order to maintain government and not be drawn back into an election. So to me, this just reads like a government that's not in touch. And we know that already from looking at their economic policy, but this is just further evidence they don't understand what's happening in the country right now.
Yeah, the fact that they're out in front of the Bloc and the NDP. I've said for a long time that Justin Trudeau isn't a real Liberal. He's a New Democrat. He wants to take them further to the left than the NDP is at. And before, on the gun issue, before they withdrew the amendments, the NDP had put a motion to the committee to say, we want to send this to the speaker because we think this goes too far and we think it's out of order. There were people in the New Democrats and in the Bloc who were raising concerns about how fast the government was going with medical assistance in dying. That tells you that, as you put it, it's a government that is talking to a very small group of people. I mean, I don't even think regular Liberal voters back some of these policies that the government's putting forward anymore. That's how out of touch they are. It's just, are they just talking to a small group of academics and supporters? Is it just a bunch of bros in a boardroom saying, it'd be cool, boss?
I think that's exactly right. I would call them maybe bro ideologues. They're not taking the power that they hold as seriously as they should, and they're becoming obsessed with ideology over understanding what the people of Canada actually want and need. And that is a recipe for disaster. I mean, if I'm a Liberal supporter right now, I'd be quite worried about the direction of this government. They seem completely incapable of managing the task in front of them, which is to get our economy to a better place and make sure that the middle class is thriving. Instead, they're wasting their time on a lot of these fringe policy agendas, these special interests, and clearly they're having to walk them back now because the majority of Canada isn't supportive of this agenda. Yeah,
the thing with politics is we all come to it with our own ideas, but politics is the art of the possible. And both sides can be guilty of this. Think of libertarians that sit there going, oh, let's just implement Ayn Rand and that'd be great. But you put that to the general public and a lot of them go, whoa, wait a minute, I was with you until you said that. I think that's kind of what they're doing now, is that they are just listening to their inner selves. So, do the Conservatives have an opportunity to jump in and say, hey, look, we're not the scary guys you think we are. Those are the scary guys. We're here for you. We're here to talk about the issues that matter.
I think that is the opportunity for Conservatives right now, is to speak to the country and say, we're going to come into this with the purpose of solving problems and making life better. And we will do what it takes to accomplish those goals rather than being driven by fringe ideology. I think that's exactly the message that needs to be sent. The truth is that I think the Liberals have overplayed their hand. They act like a party that's popular. Justin Trudeau acts like a prime minister that has a lot of support. But the truth is he's not. He hasn't been able to win a majority since 2015. And we know that, the number of people across Canada who support him is well below the majority of the population. So I think he's overplayed his hand. And I think Conservatives have an opportunity to say, this is a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He's dropped the ball. He's gone too far. We can help bring this, ship back on track.
Interesting times in Canadian politics and interesting times for the Conservatives. They've got an opportunity out there. They just need to make sure that they present themselves to the swing voters. They need to get, especially as I keep saying, Jamil, suburban moms, put their ideas in front of them in a way that makes sense to those suburban mom swing voters and get them to switch, because I'm betting a lot of them are just shaking their heads. All right, we'll put it to the audience. Let us know what you think on these big backdowns from the Liberals, both on guns, on medical assistance and dying. How far out of touch do you think they are? Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.